Guys, we have an amazing episode for you, so get ready to be inspired in every direction.
Yeah, genuinely. We have a guest on this week, Isabelle Faenza. She's an old friend of mine from high school days, and she reached out to me just from hearing and listening to the pod, and our circles crossed and our paths are like kind of aligning back, this kind of California healing artistic energy. And she just gives us her story and like some things I knew, some things I was hearing for the first time today. And she's just wonderful and really, truly, like it's just a wisdom drop that I needed. I think I was calling her into my life and she heard it. And it's beautiful. I really hope you guys stay and listen. And she has like a lot of just incredible advice and things you could learn from. So I hope you stick around.
Highly spiritual, highly intuitive. She talks about therapy journeys. She did ketamine for a while in like a professional setting. But she talked a little bit about that. Very eye-opening. And yeah, she's kind of the embodiment of the artist way. And we appreciate that energy. Very inspiring episode. And it's just really nice to connect with someone who's like on this kind of journey with us. But I feel like her like wisdom and stuff is like almost ahead of ours. I don't know. I felt like I was like learning and soaking in so much good stuff from her. Yeah. And I think you guys are going to just love it.
Yeah, thanks, Isabelle. We love you, and we're so grateful for your openness and vulnerability on this episode. It just like, I'm going to be high for a while. That was awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy.
Fergus!
Hi.
Hi, guys.
I didn't know he was in here. All right, that's going to be a problem.
That's okay. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Isabelle Faenza, our guest.
Hello.
So happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you. What's up? Okay, we're just gonna start a little bit by introducing Isabelle, going into it. God, we met when we were fucking 12 years old.
Oh, no way. Grade. I thought it was high school.
7th grade. Well, Marist starts in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So
really?
we go way back, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, it feels important to have like the 7th through 8th grade formative years. There's like such a difference between meeting and high school.
It's a huge difference. Do you know that, Nina? It's a really weird thing that they do.
Pause. I'm just like picturing you guys both in like a Catholic fucking private school right now. Like uniforms. Like what?
I'm low-key wearing like the Marist collared shirt.
I actually was looking at that earlier, yeah.
Do you remember this like color tone that we had to wear there? It was like, I don't even know what you call this. It's like a
Catholic blue.
Yeah.
You know?
It is Catholic blue. I love it.
I low-key loved the uniforms, so.
Me too. I loved having a uniform.
I was always
the
jealous
structure.
of the uniforms.
I know. They were cute. We had like the saddle shoes.
Yeah.
You know, we were all getting in trouble for our socks and
you like
our
roll
skirts.
up the skirt. You're like, I have a knee injury. I have to wear these tennis shoes. Like, yeah.
But anyway, we go way back. And it's been a long time since we connected, and Isabelle just reached out, and we were just vibing about art and creativity and living in California and being free. But we've like kind of saved some of our juices to have a pod episode. So now we got her, and we want to hear a little bit about what you've been up to. I guess like give us like
totally.
Give us whatever
you
want.
Give us a bio.
Like,
I don't
give
know
us a
you.
bio.
Like,
yeah, Nina's just meeting you, so just give us a little bio for the crowd. It always helps. I like that.
Totally. I'm just gonna give like a bullet point history because I feel like I have a really circuitous path to like kind of getting where I am.
Totally,
which is amazing. So, grew up in Atlanta. Went to high school with Caroline. Went to Alabama for college. Did like sorority girl Alabama vibe, like loved it. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Started as a business major, ended up in nursing school, which I think is really important. I just like realized empathy was like the core of my being. So it wasn't even that I was like, oh, I want to be a nurse. I was just like, I want to work with people. I want to help people. I was getting a lot of external validation at the time too of like going to nursing school. It's like a very like
Like, oh, she's a teacher. Oh, she's a saint.
Like, do you mean also too like this? I don't know if I can't speak for you, but kind of like just the way that things go from where we were from. Like there's only like so many options that like kind of
totally.
like you're like, oh, you're 18 years old and you're like, okay, there's these options. These are my choices. These are like the career. It's just like, it doesn't mean that it's like completely limited, but it's just kind of this idea that's like, oh, you're going to be a nurse. It's like, it is like this like instant part of,
I relate. I was an accounting major. So
yeah, and I like went to Georgia, went to business school, and like I was like, why am I here? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
totally,
I should be at NYU. Like, what's happening right now?
No, like now I always say that this is so true. Like looking back, like now I'm like I would have gone to like an all girls liberal arts college, right? But like I wasn't there. Yeah, I have so much grace for my like younger self because also what a cool thing to be able to hold like this duality of identity and juxtaposition of like your previous selves, right? Like I love that I'm from the South. I love that I went to Alabama. Like I love that I've experienced all these things and we'll get there because I'm going to bounce a few more places before, but like wherever I go, I'm going full throttle into it, right? So I was like full sorority girl. I was a football recruiter when I was at Alabama. Like I just did all of this stuff that was like very involved. I just want to learn about it. I'm just so interested. So I did that. I think definitely looking back, you know, I was like, maybe this isn't for me, but I didn't know how to tell that yet. So went to school.
You were learning.
Absolutely. So went to school in Alabama, came back, graduated in May of 2020, right? So graduated nursing school in the beginning of COVID. So had actually like, and this will make sense too once you get to know me.
Some good trauma right there.
Yeah, had actually like gotten a job to be a camp nurse in Switzerland post-grad and was planning on not coming back to America. I was like, I'm going to go to Switzerland. I'm going to make some connections. I'm not going to work as a nurse. I'm just going to like stay in Europe and like do something. Graduated during COVID, obviously couldn't do that. Ended up back in Atlanta doing labor and delivery nursing for 2 years, which huge, really important part of my life because I was 21 when I graduated nursing school, went straight into becoming a labor and delivery nurse. And I think like looking back, my perspective on life, having it be like my first job was this life or death experience, right? So like really good when it's good, really bad when it's bad. So I was going
a lot of highs and a lot of lows. Like and you're constantly like dipping through these like really intense emotions, I feel.
Yeah. And it's like whiplash. And
exactly. Yeah.
I was such a little baby. I'm really good at this, right? So I think there's a big part of growing up is separating like just because I'm good at something doesn't mean maybe it's right for me.
Yeah.
So
totally. It's a good point.
I was like so good at it, but I wasn't doing anything with the emotions, like with the trauma. So like at a hard 2-year mark, basically. And it's COVID. I didn't have any days off. Like it's super unknown. Like there was a lot of context there, but
it's intense. It's an intense like 2 years at that age.
Yeah. So I hit I hit 2 years. I'm still in Atlanta. I'm like going out with my friends. I'm working nights. I'm like, whoa, how did I end up back here? You know, I love these people. I love this life. There is joy, but this is not for me. So I Google how to work in the West. I find a ranch. Literally 2 weeks later, I've quit my job. I've moved to Montana. I'm working on a ranch in the middle of nowhere. I
fucking love that.
Yeah, I was like, you know, in retrospect, again, 2020, I probably needed therapy, but I instead was like, let me go like change my situation, see how I feel. Just kind of be in the middle of nowhere and experience that.
Well, you were looking to meet.
I think it's a great move. Like I would recommend that to any 22-year-old, 3-year-old that's like, oh God, I just signed up for a job. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do next. Go take some time. Like you're so young.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, but like that also like even with or without therapy, like I feel like that's a beautiful choice.
It's interesting though because you were like there was an intention there to meet yourself on a deeper level. And even though you weren't ready for like talk therapy, you were putting yourself in a position to experience like intense moments of solitude and like self-reflection with yourself. And it's just interesting how like our subconscious or whatever, like our desires, like they just kind of put you in the situation. Like even if you didn't like make the decision of like, I need to go there to be like with my own thoughts. It's what happened. Is it what happened?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was like, my intuition was enough. Like I would say now, like I try to like everything in my life is on intuition, right? It's like that feeling in your stomach, that tightness in your chest.
Yes.
However it shows up for you. But at that time, I had not done that work. but it was still there, right? Like you think of just like the soul and like this feeling, like, you know, it's gonna fight and like claw up. It's you're gonna have a reckoning with it, right? And it's gonna be there. And it's like, are you gonna meet it and listen to it, or are you gonna go through, you know, whatever it is? So it's all important. And I'm with Caroline. Like, I recommend you go do that. Like, it was amazing. It was so amazing. It was in the middle of nowhere. I was supposed to stay for 4 months. I ended up staying for a year. You know, I made all these new friends. I saw the world in a completely new lens, which I think is so important. I talk so much about lenses of just like, I always think in my head of like walking out the front door, walking around the house and looking through a different window, right? Because you just have to change perspective on it. And I had grown up in a bubble. Like, we grew up in a bubble. Like, I grew up going to this private school in Atlanta. I went to Alabama. I came back and was working in Atlanta. I met real people and like real life, and was alone in nature and was feeling really intense things, but was like feeling for the first time in a long time. So so that was really a beautiful period in my life. And the first time that I was like, I'm going to do this thing even though I feel like I'm not allowed to do it. Right? Like, I'm going
That
to
was
quit
going to
my
be a
job.
question. Like, did you feel like guilty or nervous or anxious, like you were letting people down or yourself down? Like, what did you feel like making that choice?
Totally. I absolutely felt like it was not allowed. Like, I was living with friends, so I was like, I'm gonna have to tell them that I'm moving out. I'm quitting my nursing job. Like, here is me giving up all of these like accepted and celebrated things for an uncertain decision. For me, I had to get to the place where there was no other option. Like, I'm such a people pleaser. I'm such an empath. Like, I'm not making that decision until it's like, oh my God,
For death.
life or death. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's so relieving. You feel so alive, right? You're
Yeah.
like, and it's so important, I think, to have like positive reinforcement of like, you can make that decision and it's going to be okay. And you're allowed to do that. And you're allowed to do it. And you're allowed to do it. And you can change your mind. You can change your mind. You can change your mind.
Yeah.
Were people in your life supportive at the time, and you were just fighting your own demons, or were people not supportive and then it was, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. I think it's the former, definitely. I think I think we all project so much, but
Yeah,
especially me, that everyone's gonna be mad at you, right? And in reality,
always.
it's like, and it was one of those things where you're not honest until I wasn't honest until I was honest about everything at once, to myself and then to others.
Yeah.
So it's seemingly, and this has happened a few times in my life, like, it seemingly comes out of nowhere that I have this like immediate need for action. But obviously, like, my therapist says, like, I don't feel until 11. So, like, you know, the goal is to, like, at 5 or 6, feel like, "Oh, you know, something's happening. I need to make some changes." I, like, get to 11 and I'm like, "Oh my God, pull the cord. We gotta go."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, that's so cool. I didn't know you did that. So you were like working on this ranch type of
Yeah.
situation for a year, made a bunch of friends, having a new experience, and then what'd you do next?
Totally. So I did this. I kind of isolated myself, and I think this is important. I went for the first time like 6 months in on a trip with some friends from home, and I just felt that like comfort and love of being around people that you know. And I was like, oh, like, I'm ready for my next thing. Like, I've grown here. I've stayed for longer. It's felt right. Something in me is just like, oh, I need to go be somewhere familiar and figure out what to do next. I move home. I'm like fully planning on moving out to San Francisco at this time. I'm like looking for jobs in labor and delivery here. And then I had a friend that went to high school in Atlanta, Katie Schiffer, who went to high school in Atlanta. I knew through some college friends, whatever. Text me the week I was moving home. So we talked about earlier, like, everything works out for me. Like, I always every move in my
It's
life
the universe.
yeah, totally universal intervention. I trust her like on God. So she texts me. She's like, I have a job that I think you would like. You know, I go in, bring my resume, don't even take it out of my bag, end up working in this functional medicine office
Cool.
in Buckhead, which was like so cool. Again, so important for my growth and like understanding and realizing all these things. I ended up staying in Atlanta, you know, getting a house with some friends, really appreciating and loving being in Atlanta this time. Because I think post grad, I was like, how did I end up back here? I didn't want to be here. I was ready to like grow. Now I'm back here, deciding to be there, enjoying Virginia Highlands, having this like really beautiful experience with it. And I think there's this phenomenon of, you can only really appreciate or love a space when you've like removed yourself from it enough to understand what it is and know that you're not like destined to die there, right? It's not like I don't have any options.
You're not
It's
trapped.
totally. So did that for, again, like 2 years, and then hit an equal kind of point of like, all of a sudden I was 25, and I think maybe this is a little bit of what every 25-year-old goes through, but I just feel things really intensely. I was like, who do I want to be? Who am I outside the conditioning of my
The
entire
second
life?
puberty.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
no, it's an intense experience. No one like I never even talked about it until I was experiencing it. Never even heard of it was a thing. But like that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise. Like 25, all of a sudden it's like, well, and your Saturn return's about to hit, and that's
Yep.
where it's like all the things get brought to the surface. Oh
Yeah.
God, what a depressed time of my life. Necessary.
Dude, what? Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's hell.
It's hell.
What of the singularly most important moment of my life? Holy shit, I would never go back there.
Yeah,
right? Like it's like
right.
Yes.
So yeah, so I worked at this functional medicine office, which was really beautiful. This brought up for me a lot of like, I had some past eating disorder stuff, like just a lot of like rules and kind of like harshness around myself and my life that I thought was healed. And then I'm in this like super healthy space, which I like loved where I worked. I loved who I worked with. I realized that like I was not healed. It was an extremist thing. I was like, whoa, I have all these really harsh like eating patterns, working out patterns. Like the things that I'm valuing don't align with what I want to value and how I want my life to look at all. And I saw there was like this extremist kind of, we did some aesthetic work, and there were these women that I loved and adored and looked up to and like had repeat clients, you know, could kind of have like relationships with them. And they're so worried about vanity and so aligning their life values with that still, that it just like, thank God, it just sent me so far to be like, I can't live that way.
Yeah.
Like I cannot have this be me.
Yeah.
So second
That's
kind
a
of
beautiful
like
like
basic
age to like what an important pivotal moment, because it is like I don't know, living in LA, I mean I see it so much out here, and it is just like I don't know. It's just a really tough way to live because everything's consumed by this like bigger kind of poisonous thought that like we're not enough and that we have to change ourselves, like all the, like, you know what I mean? There's obviously a balance of like wanting to feel good in your skin and all these things, but there's like the other end of it where you're just like, whoa, like I don't know. I felt that a lot. So that's like a cool, sad but cool moment to like see that and connect with it, and then kind of realize, okay, I want to feel differently inside, you know?
Totally. Especially because I think that when you're in it, especially as a young woman, like everything we're told about is like youth is like our highest worth, right? And when you're in it, you don't think about like, oh, in 60 years, if I don't change something, like this will be my entire life. And so I think that you never think about like, you're like, oh, I'll be better when I'm older. You know, you just don't even like consider like the choices that you make every day are like the foundation building blocks of your life. Like, and you have the power and the responsibility to change that. So I learned.
I love the metaphor of like, you're like, it's like you put yourself in a prison, but you're just sitting there like with the keys, and you're like, and I can't, and I'm
You're like,
stuck
one
here.
day we'll get out.
Yeah.
One day it'll be different.
Keys are right in front of you, but it's like, it's so simple, the concept of getting out, but it's like to get out is so hard. I have a lot of grace for people that like are stuck in a loop. I get it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's so hard. And this is actually is a perfect segue into what I did next, which is like, I quit my job. I was like, something is wrong with me because, and then too, this is important to know, creatively like I have chronic depression. I didn't know that at the time. So like there was this lens I was living through, which was life feels this hard for everyone. Like this is a normal experience, things like that. And so all of a sudden I'm like, something's wrong. You know, here I am 2 years after the last life change that I made. I made a different life change. And, you know, it's the wherever you are, there you are. Right. So I'm like, here's all these external changes I've made. Something inside of me is wrong. And I think there's a lot of like, I feel broken type narrative versus like, girl, just figure it out. Like, figure out what can work for you, figure out the tools. So I quit my job. I started what I call emotional grad school. I went to ketamine therapy twice a week and normal therapy 3 times a week for like 6 weeks.
In Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Wait, no, Isabelle, you can't throw this out because now the whole episode's going to be about this.
I'm laughing at the intensity that you jump into this. Like I'm thinking.
Yes, you're 11. You're an 11er.
Yeah,
I'm
and
an
then
11,
I got a
yeah.
therapist. You're like, I went straight to ketamine. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Right,
in
so-
Atlanta, like, I mean, that's stuff my therapist out here does it. Like, I might start doing, there's so many of that thing in California, but you were ahead of the time. First of all, that was 3-4 years ago, I'm assuming.
That was 3-4 years ago in like a strip mall in Smyrna, Georgia, y'all.
Yeah, so you were ahead. How was it from the functional medicine office that you learned a lot about this stuff?
Totally, yes.
Okay,
So
because I feel like give people a little bit of context about the ketamine thing, because you know, when I heard it 3 years ago, I just put that on the list of, I don't know anything about that. I was already pretty open because of the work I've done out here. I'm open to things, but I haven't touched, for the most part, plant medicines or anything like that. Like, I'm about to dabble, I think. But it was because I've like been very resistant to, like, I didn't really drink and call, like, I haven't drank much or done anything. So I'm just resistant to feeling outside my body. Now I've done a lot more research and like the open, like there's so much of this, but just high level, give people that are listening and don't know anything about this just like a touch point so they can kind of understand.
Totally. So I cannot recommend it enough. I give that disclaimer with you have got to be ready to work. You have got to have done some work, and you have got to be ready to work.
Yes.
Like, it is hard and really scary work because...
Isn't it deeply intentional? Like, don't you have to go in it with like specific intentions on the things that you want to confront about yourself? Is that right?
I
I've
would
done
say
some
that's
research.
I was going to say, I would say that's right in the sense of like, you have got to be ready to learn and like cover topics, or you can kind of maybe sometimes be like, wow, I feel, for me, like, I'm like, wow, I feel like me and sadness. I really, just like everyone else, but I really have a hard time with sadness. Like, how do we confront it? How do we feel it? How do we move through it? Like, and so I can kind of go in with that intention. I'll say you have no control. And that's what's the hardest thing about it. Like, that's where the work comes in. You are going so completely out of your body, and then I'll kind of touch back to just like logistics, but you are like getting an IV injection of ketamine. I'm not doing guided ketamine therapy. So I'm in there by myself, completely going into a K-hole. You are inside your mind and body and soul, and you have to give up complete control, right? Like, that's when it works the best, because you are there to use it as a tool to work on yourself, to bring things up, right? So I had started therapy in the functional medicine years. So I'd started therapy, but, was just kind of had been maybe a year in. My therapist, who I loved, her mom got sick. So she stopped being a therapist. So this happens all in conjunction, where like my first therapy session with my new therapist, who you guys I've seen weekly since then. So like 3 years ago, she's like my angel and I adore her. Like the second session I had with her, I was like, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to ketamine therapy. Right. So she like jumps on board with me. She's there. Like, she is not a ketamine therapist. She is like separate. But while this is happening, enter the universe again, my dad is like talking to and seeing a psychiatrist that he got through the functional medicine office that I worked at. And this is somebody that I have like a relationship with, because I had referred patients to her. Like, we work in conjunction with her, but I never like worked with her. So basically he mentions what I'm going through. I have on the books already to go see another psychiatrist, just like a normal Piedmont psychiatrist, whatever. And she calls me and she's like, girl, get your ass into my office. She's like, I like, what are you doing?
Based off what your dad had told her?
Yeah, based off what my dad had told her, and just based off hearing that I was taking time off of work, she was like, what are you doing? I'm here to help you. Like, let's talk.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, immediately. And her office is like in her basement at her house in Atlanta. Like, she's so forward thinking, and she's just like amazing. And I literally sat down, and 2 minutes later, she's like, you need ketamine therapy. Call this place, get in tomorrow. And I'm super open. I mean, at this point, like, had only lived in Atlanta, but had tried at this point too, like, I had just been so sick mentally for so long and not aware
you were like
that I was
to
so
try.
willing to do anything.
And you're like with a trusted source. Like, it's not like this is like a random person, like a friend. Like, you were obviously like under advisement of someone that you trusted. And
when a Southern, beautiful, middle-aged woman, like beautiful in soul, tells you to do ketamine therapy,
yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna do ketamine therapy. Yeah, I'm like, if you are telling me to do this, like,
You're like,
let's do it.
Yeah.
And you guys, and they take my insurance. It's like $8 an infusion. Like, I still do it. I'm coming home in a few months to do it. I like keep up with it.
Cool.
But you just go in, yeah, and they do an IV of ketamine and you just swim inside your body and mind. Like, I can't articulate it past like, because every time I go in, I'm still a little bit scared, right? I'm like, I can't remember what it was like. I don't remember. Every time I do it, I'm like, I can't believe I do this. You know, it's such hard work, but it's so helpful for me. And from how I explained it when I began was like, in therapy, you're trying to understand or grasp these concepts, right? You're like, I love myself. You know, I'm worthy. I'm enough. Whatever it is, it ranges from a million things, but usually it comes down to the way we view ourselves and like past protective mechanisms, things like that. When you go into ketamine therapy, you go inside your body and you like open a door and turn on a light. And it's not like, oh, I'm trying to learn this thing. It's like, oh, I already knew this thing. I just had lost it somehow. And then you walk out and you feel it like inside of you and inside of your soul. And you like have it. So I had done some research before and it said like each ketamine infusion is like 3 to 5 years of therapy, basically, in like one infusion.
Whoa, Isabelle, this is so like we're gonna have to talk more about this
intrigued.
offline, but I'm really intrigued because like
yeah,
I'm on the journey of all these things, and I like have spent so many years talking, like, and I get it all on a level
like a logical level.
Yes, like I understand all my patterns, I understand all my history, I understand all my trauma to a level where I'm like, I know it all. And then like I kind of hit a breaking point this last year where I'm like, but I don't feel it. Like I'm so stuck on a fucking hamster wheel, and like the depression bit of like getting up like it's just there's so many layers to it. I'm like, something is not right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't whatever. So my ketamine 5-7 years of therapy was the Hoffman process. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Oh my God, you have to look it up. It's right next to you. It's in Petaluma.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, look it up. There's not like that much about it on the internet, but like there's I'll try to think of some ways. I'll send you a voice note about it. But anyway, that is where I found this, what you're talking about. You open the door, turn the light on, and then you feel it in your body. But obviously, like it was 7 days intensive, like it's its own thing. But everything you're saying is resonating. And I think there's a lot of different versions of this for people. But like the key element is like in whatever way you do it or it comes to you or you choose to explore it, it's like the hardest work of your life, but it's like 10 million bajillion times more rewarding than the like sitting in therapy and talking for 3 years. Like that's all part of the process. So it's not to knock it, but like there is a point in which it can't achieve the next level of like embodiment. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Or like even I even think I got even stuck in like this weird thing where I was like progressing, and then it was like almost torturous. Like I was in this awareness.
Then you're
like
you're too self-aware.
Yes, I was in awareness hell. Like I was literally like, I don't know how to be and change and feel these things. So is something wrong with me? Like something must be wrong with me.
That's my biggest qualm with talk therapy. I've tried it once and I went, oh, I get it now. And then I just started doing it on my own, if that makes sense. Like the logical brain mind part of it, that comes very naturally to me. It was the last year that I started exploring somatic healing within myself and dropping it down to the body and like feeling it and like learning like what voice was the intuition versus the anxiety versus this and like understanding like the energetic flow that happens with like different emotions and things that I was like, okay, that's when I was actually able to build like a sense of safety within myself and confidence and security and take risk with myself and doing like a podcast or launching a business. Like that's when the things started making sense. And Caroline, that's why I always say like, is the why even important? Like, is that even? I
know. I'm a big why. I want to find out the why, and I do think it's a part of my process because I have like this. It's all control, so I think that's why like trying some of these medicines will be good for me because to Isabelle's point, the whole point of it is that like you let go of this control element and that's where the good stuff is. So like two things. One, I want to hear like whatever you're willing to share just like at a high level after these weeks, like what was your takeaway? I'm sure you were getting there. And two, I just wanted to say like I think that at least for me, there's all these years of like being surrounded by so many people. I was like, I had someone around me at all times, my entire young adult life. Like I think there's this sense of like, even if I felt independent at points, like I didn't really know what it meant to like be responsible for my own everything.
Totally.
Does that make sense? And like,
oh my God, totally.
like
yeah.
it's like, oh, the existential, this is like getting deep, but like the real thought here is like we are alone. Like,
yeah.
no matter how you spin it, you can have the best parents in the world, the best siblings in the world, the best friends in the world, the best partner in the world, the best animals in the world. Like, community is everything, and it's a piece of healing, and it's a piece of everything. But like, boil it down, like we're fucking alone.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because there's parts of your story that are like, that are clearly your soul and the like was calling you to like dip into these like alone moments where you're isolating yourself, even if it was for an hour in the therapy or in Montana or travel once you start moving over here. Like you're getting called to like experience these things by yourself, and it is like so scary. It's so hard, but like I ultimately think that's where the good stuff is, and then kind of how to build this beautiful life after, because it doesn't mean you're like not in communion with all the other people, but like the real sense of like safety and knowing that like you got you and it's going to be okay, like is only going to come from that place. It's not from another person, you know,
totally,
or a job or whatever. So I just wanted to add that bit in, and then we'll get back to, sorry, this is just such an interesting thing, but keep going.
No, I like literally have 17 tangents off of that came up. Like,
I know.
I'm like, okay, well, you're speaking my language.
I know.
The first one is the image of like, y'all know in the Barbie movie when she's like on the dance floor and everyone's dancing. It's the first moment she becomes a human where she's like, we're all gonna die. Like, do you guys ever think about death? Like, that is literally me. Like, I'll be at like a concert with my friends having the best time, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, the only person in this life that I can control or like have any idea over is me. And also like, we're gonna die. I say that all the time because I'll be like, you know what? About the most trivial things. I'm like, I am gonna get the almond croissant because I'm gonna die. You know, and I am gonna go get a coffee or go on a walk or stop working early or do whatever because like I'm gonna die. Or ask someone if I can shoot them on film, or ask someone out on a date. Like, it goes on
or text me about this. Like,
yes, or reach out to Caroline about getting on the podcast because I'm gonna die, and who cares? Like, it's all just about experience. And I think that like a huge point is during this period is when I started writing. So I would say like, and this is actually so important. Like, this is where my creativity was reborn. Like, it was not present for so many years. And then all of a sudden I start ketamine therapy. I start doing therapy. I'm writing. I can't stop writing. I'm like, this is my meaning of life. Like, I feel like I have purpose and I'm understanding things. And when you're learning and you're healing and you kind of are like understanding these like foundational values of life for the first time, which is like loving yourself. Like you said, like learning that individuality, saying like, I'm the only person that can be responsible for my life. And what a horrible, terrifying, amazing, beautiful thing to realize.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want it. So then you spend, you know, like 6 months or a year maybe, and then it comes back. Like, all learning is a circle.
What is it, Caroline? You can't close like once it's cracked, like you can't unlearn it. You can't like
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah, you
can't
take it back. You can't take it back. You're like, shit, this is my job. But if I'm unhappy, I'm the one with the keys. I have to wake up and change that. And the burden of that when you first realize it, being 25, I think everyone, this is like the crux of it, is like horrifying. You know, you're like, this is so overwhelming and so all consuming. And
people have that moment at every stage though. Like, I was in a room with 30 people, most of them over the age of 40. I think some people like having that realization, and it's like there's no, and so I find that like what a gift to realize that in your 20s, even if you're panicked. Like, it's just like this, again, setting this tone, because it just will keep compounding and growing. It's not like, I don't know. So
it's the gift of free will. Like, not to bring the Bible into this, but that is the most beautiful. I mean, all the lessons of the universe I find in there, right? Reading like by myself with my own relationship, but that is the gift of free will. Like, free will is understanding, like it's understanding that it's as above, so below. There's no high with the low. There's no like making a decision and not affecting another person. Like, it's holding juxtaposition at all times and then finding the balance between it.
Totally.
So it's freeing, but it's a lot of responsibility.
It is. And I think to that point, like, religion and creativity and spirituality in life are really important understanding, because like, I wouldn't say that I'm religious, but I have this like religious background, and I would say I'm like highly spiritual. And I talk about God a lot in my art, right? Because I think
Mhm.
God is nature and God is feeling and God is understanding. And if
Yeah.
religion is like having a set of values that you believe in and you love and a creation of community, like all of these things, we're so much more intertwined as like humans than we think. And I think that's a huge part of so ketamine therapy, healing, life is a circle, right? I reread my old writing and I'm like, oh my God, I learned that yesterday. Like I just relearned that again yesterday. I'm like,
Yeah.
this feels wow. Like, you know, the reason I started sharing my writing was because I was like, what if somebody can relate to this? Because when I relate to writing, that's the most beautiful human connection. Like
Yes.
someone's articulation of experience, secular from my own experience, makes you feel so loved and just so understood and
Seen.
Yep,
yeah,
nail
and
on the
so
head on
seen.
why Waldorf was started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
totally.
literally it, yeah.
Well, and that's what when I told Caroline, I was like, I literally feel like you guys are inside my brain when you're talking, which is such a beautiful thing. And like,
That's
what
the
an
highest
amazing
compliment that
experience.
I could
Yeah,
ever receive. Like, truly that like,
Truly, yeah. Yeah.
wow.
But you're right. Writing, music, movies, TV shows, art, even just like visual art, if you feel like there's a piece of me in that piece and
yeah,
someone else that I've never met, don't even know what they look like, created that goes to this back to the existential thing, that's the scary alone thing, all of a sudden doesn't feel so scary.
totally.
Because there's someone out there who gets it. And you're like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it.
And it's like this infusion of confidence too, right? Because I think being vulnerable is really scary. Like life, being
Mm-hmm.
alive is really scary. And especially, I think everyone, but especially women, we feel like too much and we feel like we take up too much space or whatever it is, like too much, not enough, all at the same time. And I feel like if you feel intensely and if you're an artist and you have this like creative need or you process by taking photography or writing or whatever it is, depending on where you are in your life at that moment, it can feel like you're just like admitting to everyone that you are too much and that you feel too much and you're too sensitive and you don't align with this like society that we live in now that's just supposed to have like certain reactions and shoulds and all these things. And so when you like read someone else's vulnerability and maybe it's a really dark thing or whatever it is, it's like a really intense feeling. You're like, oh my God, that's just what being alive is. That's what being a human is. And when I express that way, usually I get it out and then I don't feel it anymore. Or I feel
Mhm.
better, it feels less, or like it's just meant
Mm-hmm.
to be like expression is experimentation, right? Like it doesn't have to be truth and it doesn't have to be your identity forever. Like it's just everything is a phase.
And
Like
that's why I always say that, like creativity expression, like, earlier I was talking about, like, the energetic flow within your body.
yeah,
Like, you have the power, the free will, and the control to say, "Okay, I have this energetic buildup right now. It's either gonna fuck with me or I can let it out." And then you can
yeah,
choose avenues for how you let it out, and that could be anything from going on a walk, or doing a painting, to writing in a journal. Like, that's why it's so important to have these, like, things in your life that you can come back to. Like journaling, I journal, but I don't journal all the time. I just journal when I'm like, oh, I feel the need to do it. I need to get this thing out. Because if the
totally.
energy stays within, that's when like your cortisol levels will be too high. Your hormones will get fucked up. Like you will self-destruct in certain ways. Maybe that's with addictions or something. Like, and then if that energy's built up for me, like negative thought patterns, boom, like you feel
Yeah,
this way, you must be like it's all connected to this like ability to allow the thing to flow, whatever the thing is. Like if it's bubbling up, you have to find an avenue that you can kind of channel that thing into. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to alchemize the experience. I mean,
totally.
meaning like take something that's like, oh, a negative and then turn into something beautiful or loving or connect. Like, I don't know. It's a really beautiful thing, but that in itself is a skill. You
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
only learn the skill by sucking and being
Yeah.
like
It's
shitty at everything and being depressed
you
and being like, I
have
have
to
to
go
find a
through
different way.
this. A lot of the things we're talking about are like dark periods. Like there's just
yeah,
no way to the other side without the darkness. And I think like I've felt like a new surge of creativity. Like I know you guys probably saw yesterday I started the shed and all these things, and it's like it's taking me so long to get here for the flow to come back. And I'm just like looking back at the last 5 years of my life and I'm like, God, is it fucking hard? Because
yeah.
you want these things, you've had them before, but you wake up and you're like, I don't know how to get it back.
You've
Like,
had them before is like,
Oh my God. You have a little taste. It's not even like a new part of me. It's like an old part of me fucking locked in the jail. And yeah, I had the keys, but I didn't know. I'm like turning every key, being like, how do I get the key in the thing and get it to work? You know?
Kara, I feel like we're so similar.
I know.
It's that, here's the thing. It's like, okay, when I find, and this is a control thing, right? It's like when I find joy in something, because I did this a few years ago, I always have these like sentences in my head that will like come up again and again, and it like kind of like reiterates the period of what I'm feeling. And so like an example, I can't find joy in the places that I look was a period that I was going through because I was so desperately trying to find joy in the places that I had found it, because I was holding on. It's like if you have like a wet towel and you're wringing it out, right? There's no more joy left there, because it's like I found joy on a run, and then I'm running every day for the next 6 months, you know, and then I'm just injured and I'm sad and I'm hungry, you know, and it's like, okay, well, joy lives in diversity. Joy lives in the absence of control. Joy lives in acceptance of what's actually there. Joy lives in there is, like you said, there is no lightness without the dark. Like this is my soapbox 100%, because I think I'm really active on social media. I'm really community based. I'm just like very much so like a light person, I would say. That light comes from this like intense, very scary, very hardworking darkness. And so whenever
you gotta have the range.
That's right.
Yeah,
and people don't want to hear it, but it is just the facts.
It is. I am incredibly depressed, you guys. Like, and
but it's beautiful. That's why artists are this dark. People, they label it the wrong thing. They say like, what do they say? It's like, I don't know. I think the tortured soul concept. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, that I get why that's that, but it's really just the wrong way of looking at it. Like the artist that does have these dark feelings and this dark, like it's just a part of how they get to the beauty.
It's part of the process, and it's like, I'm gonna read to you guys something because part of my control is that when I'm feeling a certain way, I'm like, let me research the life out of it, right? Like, because it helps me feel, if I have understanding, then at least I can make something meaning out of the period.
It keeps it here. Because feeling it here is like, that's my biggest avoidance.
It's
right.
intense.
It's really intense. So I'm like, if I can just understand it here, then I can just bypass the system.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And it's never true. And it's never true. And I do it every time.
Every time. Like clockwork. And I'll literally catch myself in the moment doing it and go, bitch, you're doing it. And then
I'm trying to analyze the feeling out of feelings right now, which is not going to happen. But I was on ChatGPT, which, you know, is a part of our lives. I have negative feelings about it. But I was like, beauty and depression and artistry and examples of artists, and just going deep into this, like wanting to see writers, especially the feminine experience. And I don't believe in like the tortured artist, because I think, I just think it becomes this romantic trope where like it's not real. Like anyway, this is what ChatGPT said to me, and I am repeating it in my head over and over again. It says, the evidence suggests something sadder and more human. Talented people sometimes make beautiful work while ill, and often at enormous cost.
Whoa.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit with that for a minute.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Read it one more time.
It says, evidence suggests something sadder and more human. Talented people sometimes make beautiful work while ill, and often at enormous cost. And in the beginning, it says, you know, like art can be a container for depression, a way of working through depression. It can be, you know, something that is a helpful tool for depression, but it's often actually corrosive to creativity and human process. And the real truth is, people that are making art during depression are doing it despite, not because of, right? It's like this idea of like, I am choosing to create something beautiful. I am working so hard at it. Like it is taking energy and choice and intention to do this.
It's strength. It's like a real another level of strength.
Yeah. Which I thought it was so beautiful. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
That.
I'm thinking of all the like different form of artists, like musicians and just visual artists and actors and just so many people. I have a lot of artists in my family, and it is just this complicated relationship with emotion, talent, like light work, and then feelings and darkness and insecurities and ego and all of the things. It's like all married together. There's no like type A person that has their shit together that is like this incredible free artist at the same time. Maybe sometimes that is a thing, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little messier, you know. But
everything's so complicated.
But the way that it wrote that, and it just, I feel like the fact that it's coming from chat, you're gonna have to like do something with that. That is just a really.
I know.
Wow.
And it's that, and then there's this somebody on the concrete right outside of my house, like with their finger, wrote, "Fight Puritanism, defend human rights." And for some reason, I think of those two, like those two things are what's going on in my head right now of this, because I think that there is no Puritanism. There is no purity. This idea of we're all trying to become this person that like understands everything and is good at everything and doesn't have any failure. Like, no, like go through rejection therapy, like ask 100 questions, get told no 100 times, like be okay with it. Like just ask for what you want, ask for what you think you might want, do it, change your mind. It doesn't, like, it's really beautiful. I think those are the moments. I mean, kind of like intersecting, but I started shooting film photography last year, which I would say is like my main source of creativity now. Like I just love it.
Yeah. Okay. So because we don't have that much time left, go fast forward a little bit to like your last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. So
and pull in anything else, but I just mean like I want to hear selfishly, and because all of this like there is no update now without the backstory you just gave, but like you seem in like such a creative space. I'm very curious to like how you're harnessing it.
Yeah, I think I'll actually start here and like kind of just pull in whatever I need to back. But like right now I'm living in San Francisco. I live in the Castro, which is like the gay community downtown, and I have 2 roommates that I met on Facebook who like literally became parts of my soul immediately, right?
Aww.
And the community I have here, I have such an insane community. I have such beautiful friends. Very like California, open artistry, so many film photographers, so many different just enthusiasts about being alive. I think that's a very big San Francisco thing, is like, let's go be outside, let's go enjoy everything, let's go out dancing and then get up at 8 a.m. and go for a hike, you know, just kind of like it's just, just very free. And if you would have told me 2 years ago that I'd be like, have pink hair and live in California, and like I have my own company. So I left ketamine therapy. I worked in my yoga studio. I was a nanny. I fell in love for the first time, which is important for the story, right? Because I had been working on a lot of feelings. And then I have this like really beautiful relationship with someone that taught me a lot about myself and taught me a lot about believing in my art, right? Like here's someone who is with me through this process and is like, be an artist. Like, don't, like what I do now is I'm a legal nurse consultant. So I have my own like little CEO moment, but it's just me. And
cool.
I have the freedom to do creativity on the side. And my ex was just such a beautiful guiding voice of be creative. Like that's who you are. That's how you light up. Like the way you talk about it, the light in your eyes, like that's amazing. And I just needed that person to like tell me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
And because of him, like I decided to move out of Atlanta, and then we ended up breaking up like right in this period, but all really good vibes. And I end up in California. So my brother, universe again, my brother calls me and I'm like looking at kind of just trying on cities. So I was going to go like New York or Chicago, end up in California, but I was going to come here first. My brother calls me and is like, my roommate's moving out. Do you want to move here for 4 months?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. No, that makes that tracks.
Yeah, I was like,
every part of your story is this.
Yeah. I know.
You put it out to the universe.
Yeah.
You put it. You're connected. You're over time connecting more and more to yourself. You have a feeling and intuition. I'm assuming you're talking about it with your friend, a parent, a sibling, your ex, whatever it was. You say it out loud. You put it in the universe, and then it drops in every time.
Exactly. I'm like, this is what I want. And this is what I want, or that I think that I want, and I'm open to whatever you're going to give me. So what I thought that I wanted was moving around, and then I was going to move to South Africa with my ex, like just travel, all these things. What it gave me was California, and then what it gave me was, for the first time in my life, being somewhere and being like, wow, who am I? Like reaching back into this individualism. Here's the first time in my life I'm living in California with my brother, who we're super close, but we're very different. So it's not like I have like girlfriends. I've lived with girlfriends since I was like 17. Like, since I had gone to college. I didn't have a girl community here. I was going through this period of like starting my company, going through a breakup. I moved to California. I am like scared. I love it here. I'm also really sad because I miss what's back home, but what's back home doesn't exist anymore. You know, like my other roommates moved out, like all these things.
Yeah, that period is over.
Yeah.
That period's over. And it was the most important and most beautiful moment in my entire life where I was like, I can do whatever I want and I should do whatever I want. And I'm here just for me. And that's what eventually led to the breakup of my ex at the time. I just was like, wow, for the first time ever, I need to learn to love myself so that that foundation is like always in place to move forward in life so that I'm never seeking externally this love or purpose or whatever it is, because that's never going to bring me fulfillment. I was going to say joy, but joy is not the goal. You know, peace, contentment, fulfillment with yourself,
Sure.
trust
Well,
with yourself.
and it's like I always view it too, something that really, because people pleaser, mindset.
Yeah.
Like the person I end up with deserves the most secure version of myself. I want to bring so much to the table that, like, you know what I mean? I want to like
Totally.
get my vibes up so much, match their energy. Of course, things are going to come up, but like that person deserves the best version of me. And I'm married, so
Yeah.
like I'm, you know, but that's like the energy now. Like it's
But
just
that
like
energy will never end, you know, like
I know
even when
it's
you're
very
in the committed thing
beautiful.
from a younger
Yeah.
age, like you have to work kind of backwards in the sense because they're not going to get that from you at 22 because that would be impossible.
Oh yeah.
But if you become aware of it in those stages and then you can work
Yeah.
towards that, like that still works.
It's
like it's just about the two people being open to it, you know?
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
right. Fulfillment is the right word. Like like
Yeah.
to be able to have security in yourself, like you just never feel actually alone in the world. Even though
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
are, but you're not. Like you
Right.
just feel this sense of like it's going to be okay. Like I know how to take care of myself.
It's going to be okay.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
I went to a concert by myself last night. Again, I think you take it's so beautiful to have conversations like this because you take so many parts of your life for granted, right? Where you're like, I go to a concert by myself, I do all these things, you know, but it's like, that's a really big thing. Like those should be celebrated and it's like, though I seriously would say like doing things alone, being out in the world alone, because I think there's something, it's fun to play in your room and be alone and all these things, but being out in the world, which is like inherently vulnerable by yourself, where you can't, especially as an empath, you can't feed off the energy of the people in your group. Like you can't just hang out idly by, and you have to just be this whole present self, is like the most important work ever. And it's every moment, it leads to almost every moment, I would say, where like the wind picks up and the sun shines down and my skin is like tingly and I'm like, oh my God, this is what being alive is, you know, and this is a feeling, and this will connect well, like all through this and realizing these moments is the feeling that I'm searching for in all my art. So I would say like film photography for me is just like a practice of capturing the creation that is life. Like my life itself is my creation, is my creativity. Yeah. And then you get to remember that. It's a gratitude practice. It's a experimentation. It's play, like having fun and playing with it and finding people. Like I think too, like we see ourselves in relationships really, really importantly. My female friendships are the greatest achievement of my life.
Yes.
Genuinely.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I can't
I'm
speak to that
without them.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most fulfilling thing of my entire life.
It's
And you have-
inherently like one of the most important, like I don't know what it comes from, if it's like old to our systems, like that it's like always been a thing, but like that is like a theme you hear when a group of women get together and speak, how vitally important it is to like every
Have you guys
avenue.
read Women Who Run with the Wolves?
Yes, multiple times. All-time favorite book.
No, I haven't
Also-
read it. Do I need to
Holy
cue it up?
Caroline.
Caroline,
I'm actually surprised I haven't told you about this book.
I've heard of it. I just like I'm not the biggest reader. I'll go through phases, but like
I'll give a brief little synopsis because I know people are out there. They're like, what the hell? Women Who Run with Wolves is a book about, it's pretty much a bunch of short stories. And then it like kind of breaks down these short stories, all with the intention of connecting you back to your wild woman, which is like your most pure, energetic, intuitive side of yourself.
Perfect timing for me, guys.
The wild
Genuinely.
woman archetype, like the wild, and it talks about like, you know, the different kind of women archetypes that people fall into, but like the wild woman is like baseline. And it's like, and you know, it's anything described from like the witch in the woods who's just like living off of the land and da-da-da, but like it also relates to like the everyday woman, and it's this ability to connect with your voice and your intuition And
Yeah.
it is like the epitome of holding the light in the dark. Like you are like so
Yes.
it's like this well-rounded, beautiful thing. You're totally in your own energy. It's moon energy, Caroline. It's like the
Okay.
pure moon energy.
Caroline, I
Well,
had a friend recommend it to me in Montana, and then like universe happened chance when I was starting ketamine therapy. 3 years later, I was like, oh, like I never read that book. Let me order it online, and then just happened to read it in conjunction with ketamine therapy or plant medicine or whatever it is.
Wow.
Genuinely the most life-changing. That's when I was like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
Whoa.
And I think you are gonna go through a similarly life-changing experience. Yeah.
Okay.
Caroline,
well.
you know who recommended this to me?
Who?
Remember Liv that used to work at Broadley?
Yes.
She recommended this to me.
That might even be where I remember it from. Her
Yeah.
talking about it, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
that
so
makes
moon.
so much. She's
I should
so
reach out to
moon.
her.
We should
Wonder if
get
she
her
d-
on here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Holy
Isabelle.
shit.
I'm so excited to listen to Liv's episode now.
Whoa.
Manifesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Okay. We have 5 minutes. So
Okay.
you're doing photography. You
Yes.
have your own business. You're going to
Yes.
concerts alone. You have a female like community. I'm sure you have a huge community, but you have a whole foundation of your female friendships. You're like, gosh, Isabel, I'm so happy for you. Like,
Yeah.
Thank
it really
you.
is like inspirational. And that's like the last 3 days, I kept being like, what do I need to prep for Isabel for? And that was my body and intuition. Like, I don't need to prep for Isabel because it was like genuinely like I could feel your energy through the text. And I've had like just the craziest last year. And I was just like, she's going to bring something to this conversation that I don't even know how to ask about. It's not my
Yeah.
job. It's not my job in this episode
It's
to
not
like
my responsibility.
No, it isn't. And I'm so grateful for you. And like, I don't know, I guess like a 1 or 2 questions and then, like you ask or whatever you want to jump in
Yeah.
on. But like, I want to know because for my own sake, like I'm about to go through kind of my own independent experience right now. And I think that like, it is really scary. And it's in time and in practice, but like envisioning yourself from like how you started when you first showed up to San Fran and you're with your brother and you guys have different lifestyle and different vibes to where you are now. Like, what's something you can tell someone on like how to do this? The fear of like these experiences of like even you saying I went to a concert alone, that to me like it hits a chord in me. It's like, could I do that? Like I'm doing more things alone than I was 6 months ago or a year ago, so I know that I can, and I know that's a part of the process. But like you're speaking to me and a bunch of other people. How do you do it? Like it's just intimidating as fuck.
It's intimidating as fuck. This is my guide. First of all, you have to have a reckoning with fear. Fear is not a negative thing.
Fucking
Fear
love
is-
that.
You're in the ring. You're in the ring with fear.
Yes,
Is basically
I
You're
the
love
in
point.
the ring with fear. You're one of my ketamine therapies. This was so important. I'm on the riverbank with fear. I'm holding her on my hip. My fear is a part of me. She's a
Mhm.
protector. Fear is bringing information up for you. You are the council leader. You are me at the council. You get all these emotions, and then you get to say what aligns with me, what doesn't align with me, what's trying to protect me, what is a genuine fear point, what is an actually like a safety issue versus what is a fear. Like all the best things in life, all the risks you're going to take, you're going to be on that edge of fear and you got to just jump. Like
Yeah.
it's you have a reckoning with fear, you hold her and you say, you're a little baby child that's a part of me and I'm in control. And I really am. And like,
No Bad Parts. Have you heard of that book?
I haven't heard of that book, but that is my soapbox tea, no bad
Okay.
parts I'm going to put in my
Well,
list.
I'll read The Woman and the Wolves bullshit.
Yeah.
You read No Bad Parts.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a part 2 conversation about both these things because I genuinely think the shame that people feel from these parts
Yeah.
that are not bad, they're just little us, or it could be from any time in your life, but it is like messaging, is information. And I do think that like the fear one's important because you're speaking to the person that is like,
Yeah.
I'm in fear of a safety issue half the time, and then I can't pull in or separate. Is it that?
Yeah.
You know, like I have a unique experience with that, but it's like, is it that, or is it an experience that I need to have and should have? And I'm actually just a little, I'm scared of that, but it's the jump off the cliff for that thing. And to know the
Yeah.
difference, I think is like the gold, like that's the pot, like that's where we should be searching for, because like your body and brain know the difference.
You can
You know
only
what
know
I'm
with
saying?
hindsight. You have to jump.
Yeah.
I always say this.
And it's
You're stuck on the why.
Yeah, and
And I
it's
love
all
that. I love that.
guilt,
I love that
shame,
for
and
you.
conditioning. Like
Yeah.
it's obviously conditioning of you're gonna have connected protective mechanisms against what you've been through. That is gonna come up. That's when you have to work through. Guilt and shame are connected to everything. And I think my second point of advice is stop being afraid what's inside of your own home. Like, stop being afraid to be alone because anything that comes up is a part of you. Like, it's that fear of, like, even with ketamine therapy, whatever it is, doing therapy, healing, you're like, if I go in, what if I don't ever come out? What if there's something there that's going to hurt me? What if it's going to kill me? Like, what if I can't do it? It's inside of you. Like, it just is you. Like, they're your people. Everything there is on your team. Like, when you're at war with yourself, like, you don't have the time and energy to separate just like the message. All emotions are a message. Anger, fear, all of it. What is it trying to say to you? So try to figure those things. And my last point on doing things by yourself, put on a really insane, beautiful outfit. Like,
Fuck
get
yeah.
dressed up. Yeah.
Feel
like,
good. Feel
like,
good.
feel fucking hot shit about yourself and go do this thing and allow
I love
yourself to
that.
have fun. Like, sometimes I smoke a joint before I go. Like, I just need something that's like, get me out of my.
Well, it's like you take yourself on a date. Like, you got to show up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what
This
gonna...
whole conversation is very artist way, by the way. And like,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? So like, this is another good tool. We've talked about that on here and we didn't really follow up much about it, but anyone that's like resonating with what Isabel's saying, just pick up that book and just start it, because I think it's a really good way to have like a
guide.
a guide,
like a
and
manual. Yeah.
a manual and something holding your hand. So there's direction here, because it's like,
Totally.
that is the whole message of that book. All of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think just try to shift as much as you can from an objective lens. As women, I think from such a young age, we are considering always what we look like doing something and being perceived. And so when you're doing something
100%.
alone,
Yeah.
you don't feel present. Like, just try to be in your body as much as you can in that presence of subjective feeling and experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like, it becomes this fear, or just like an overriding old story that it's about what other people are seeing when you're in that experience, and like what that means. It like means literally nothing, because 99% of the time, any experience you're having out and alone, like, you're never going to see any of those people again. So like, why the fuck does it matter?
And they don't care about you at all.
No,
like, they're not even looking at you in the first place.
They're not even thinking about you at all. Like, it's so,
Something else
so
I
true.
think about too is like, if I'm driving and I see someone like dancing in their car, I'm like, you go, girl. Or if I see someone like out like on a run, I'm like, yes, go do that. Like, I'm like cheering people on. These people don't even know I'm doing this, and I like to think that like I get that energy back.
Totally.
So it feels like I don't know if that's like a weird roundabout way of looking at it, but I feel like I'm validating people going out there doing the thing. I love someone like going on a leap, or I love someone in rock bottom, because I'm like, something amazing's about to happen. Like, you know, it's just like the energy you put out, I feel like gets validated back to like, oh, that's how people are going to react to me. Even if they don't, they do. I don't care. That's just my reality. That's what I choose.
The barrier to being good at anything is being bad at it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like that idea of like, I'm going to go out by myself and I'm going to be bad at it. And I'm going to feel weird about it. And then I'm going to keep doing it. And then it's going to get normal. And it's going to get comfortable. And it's like, still, like, I was standing in line last night and I was like, whoa, like, all these people are standing in line. Like, I'm by myself, like, whatever. And then I was just like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Like, and I'm doing something that I enjoy too. So I think being authentic about what you do with yourself is really important, because if you're doing something because you're trying to look a certain way or you think it's cool or whatever, it's like, it's differentiating between those things of like, I'm actually going to go and get absorbed by this concert, by this music, by this person that I like really love, and I'm going to be in the front row dancing by myself, versus like, I think that I should be enjoying this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, that does make sense.
Wow.
Oh, I'm very inspired.
Yeah, you dropped a lot of wisdom, and we really appreciate you reaching out to us. Because first of all, that was now hearing your story, I'm like, and then her intuition said that she needs to do this. And you know what I mean? Like, I love that. I love
my
that.
My intuition
because
has been stuck on Caroline for a while.
I'm obsessed. And this is the thing. I said this to a friend of mine recently. I was like, we all have gifts and powers or whatever. One of my gifts is when I'm at a stuck point, I'm on a new venture, whatever my trajectory is, I call people in. Like, they just drop in. Like, there's therapists and healers and new friends and women and men every single area of my life, someone comes in and they say something, they show me something, they text me something. I don't know why, I don't know how to describe it, but these things change my life. And Isabel, like, I can't say it's all just for me, but like there's a reason. I think you are a dropper. You have a wisdom drop, like in the way that you write, the things that you share, and you just need to keep going because it's not like you don't have a choice. I'm sorry. Like it is just what it is. It's a part of why you're here.
Yeah.
Like we all have different gifts.
Yeah.
And like I think like I'm a receiver of that for you. And I'm
gonna start crying. Like
I'm serious. I'm not like I'm actually feel it so deeply in this moment. And like it was happening a lot for me in January. So when you did reach out, it was like I told Nina, like it's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Conversation for offline, but like truly like just thank you for following your intuition in your gut, like in every area of your life, but like especially with like connecting with people. And like if they don't respond, like maybe they're not ready to receive or they're busy, like anyone listening, like I have a friend right now who's just constantly checking in on me, and like half the message I don't respond to her, and I just keep thinking even quietly to myself, like thank you God for her, like because whatever do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
absolutely
people get in their heads of like, well, they didn't respond, maybe I'm too much, or maybe I said the wrong thing. Like fuck that. Like, and I can tell you really you've dropped that at least like in my orbit for what I can see, like you've really worked on that of just flowing and like, this is information that needs to come out, whether you're writing it or speaking it or capturing it. Like, oh, it's just really beautiful. So like,
yeah, I feel very inspired.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I think that it's this, I genuinely believe that my intentions are to like be as good and as loving as I can be. So that I'm just not holding guilt around how my actions are being received as much, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't control all of that noise. All you can control is like your heart, where things come from, and like your background and the nursing. You're right. It's also important because think about like when you're in a job like that, like your heart is just so like in the right place, and then you're having a crazy day in the hospital and these things happen. Like there's just so little control, but like you showing up in that way is like literally all we can do.
Yeah,
you know,
totally. I'm gonna like be high for like a week off of this. Like conversations like this is the soul giving.
Yep.
I love
it's the best feeling in the world.
I love it.
I love that you get to share that.
We'll have you back. My homework is, what's it called, guys?
Women who run with the wolves.
Women who run with the wolves. You guys will dig into no bad parts because
and I'm gonna go to Petaluma.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Much to talk about offline, but yeah, I'm obsessed with this conversation. Thanks so much, and I love you guys.
Yeah, I love you guys too.
This
so
giving
happy to
me
be
life.
Here.
Okay, well we'll stay connected. And do more of it.
I love
that, guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Bye, Isabelle. All right, bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you guys.